Hello folks, I'm coming to you with a new video. As you can tell, this is not my normal character. I'm on a different map actually, and I'm in creative mode. If you see in the bottom right hand corner, you see that building icon. That means I'm in creative mode. I can fly around. I can build whatever I need to build without using resources. I have infinite weight. My stats. I'm on the map of Valguero. And just a little pointer about creative mode. If you're in creative mode and you're flying around, you can fly around quickly unless you hold down shift. If you hold down shift, you start moving slow again. To get out of that, you just double tap spacebar. Double tap spacebar, you can fly again fast. This lets you get around the map really quick. So that way you can move around the map, do stuff quickly. So I'm going to show you guys some stuff about the SS mod, the superstructures mod today. And in particular, we're going to show you these guys, the SS mutators. These guys have been requested to explain about them. I've got 4 of them set up. This is going to be one of our test subjects. We got some other test subjects over there. We got some in our bucket. So these test subjects, we're going to need multiples of. So the first things first, we need to make multiples of them. So we're hopping onto this SS Mutator, and we're just going to make copies of these guys. Now normally, this thing takes a very long time, especially the higher level your creature is, the longer it takes. And it takes shards. All of this can be changed in the INI settings. As you can see, I've spawned in quite amount of shards. Now the reason we're making copies of this guy is because we're going to need to change his gender. We're going to need to be able to change his variant form. And so in order to do that, we need a baseline. So now that we have several copies of, actually it's a girl, several copies of this girl, we're going to take her over here to the SS Mutator, and we're going to show you the first purpose of it. Well, one of the purposes, because we've got a bunch of females, so we need a male. Now I do have a mod on here that lets me just make, actually I don't even have the station out here, but I can access all the mods with another mod called ECM. And so I can access all the mods on my playthrough right here and spawn in any of the stuff. I do not use this when I'm actually playing. This is only for this creative map. This is my creative build where I test things. Some of you that watch another YouTuber and play on his server may recognize this cave. It is where Ghost plays. He's my son. He wanted this cave when he asked if I could, you know, help him join that server. So I did not use it. There's an opening up there that you can fly in. I usually just block it off. And then you got an opening down here that you can come through. The way you find this cave, easiest way, is you don't want to go in third person when you're in creative mode, especially in the fast mode. It can be a bit glitchy. So you come to the green knob, it's to your left. You want that big white cliff to your directly in front of you, and you just go straight where this waterfall is, okay? Then you turn a little bit left to it, and you see all these valleys and ridges, and you just come down here. This will actually lead you all the way to the green obelisk if you just follow these, and also the swamp in Valguero map. Okay, so back to our testing. So one of the things we need to do is we have a bunch of females in our pocket, and this is a male. So we need, this is a female. So we need a male in order to breed. When you're using the mutator, always take off the saddle and anything in their inventory. That will be lost. So we're just going to come in here. It requires element to run. It is expensive, but you can change the expense of it in the INI files. I do not suggest you change INI files unless you know what you're doing, because you can really mess up your game and then have to totally uninstall it and reinstall it. Why is my collector not working? Do I even have a collector here? It's just a quick base I threw together for the testing purposes. So anyways, you go into the inventory and you see down here change mode. Now this tells you what it's going to do right now. It's going to create a mutation pulse. So we're going to change mode to create gender swap pulse. That's what we want right now, because we want to turn this female into a male. And so we're going to create gender swap pulse. This is going to turn her into him. See, now it's a male. So now you can only do the gender swap every 24 hours. They have a little timer on them. You see above the writing, you see the square, then the green writing saying owner, great child, he, and then you see the male and female symbol interlocked. That means they can't hit, the gender cannot be swapped for 24 hours. It's a debuff on them. So we're going to put a saddle back on this guy. Hop on. You can see the buff up in the top right hand corner, the debuff, saying that it can't change its gender for 24 hours. But I have a mod that lets me do that, and that is Crazy Crazies. Where are you at? And it has a oh man, I'm gonna mess up my aesthetics. It has placement on floor, of course. Alright, stick you in the middle. I plan on doing a series on all the S++ things, all the superstructures things. Today we're just going to do the mutators, and then later we'll do some of the other things of the S+ mod. This has potions in it that lets you change genders. So does another mod I have, X potions. It has a gender. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm sorry, I was wrong about that. They took that one out. Now, this mutator, it is old. It is based off of the old version of the S+, so it's not 100% up to date. So it can cause glitches sometimes. We're going to take one of these females out. Remember, these females was exact copies of that one. So there's no mutations at all. So we're going to go to this one and see how it says create mutation pulse. This one is cooling down. Okay, so we can't use this one for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We're going to get these two to breeding. Behavior, enable mating. Behavior, enable mating. And we're going to go ahead and create a mutation pulse. This is going to force them to have a mutation. Now, it doesn't cause a mutation. All it does is increase the percentage. You see, every time the dinos mate, every time they lay an egg, there's a small percentage that the egg is going to be mutated. Now, you can get double mutations and triple mutations. This just makes it 100% certain. Now, over the top, you see the radiation symbol right next to the red hearts flashing. Now, I've changed it in INI files so that way they could have 3 mutations. So I could actually pop another one of these, but we're going to wait to do that. And they would have another mutation on that egg. I could force 3 mutations at a time. You could change that in the INI files. Once again, do not mess with the INI files if you do not know what you're doing. So it's normally only 2 mutations at a time. Now, the mutations are randomly assigned to one of their attributes, so it could appear on any one of these. It could even appear on ones that aren't used. Say creatures that have no oxygen stats, like fish. Their mutation could still appear on their oxygen stat, because they still have the stat. It just doesn't use it. And so you have to watch and see where the mutation lands. That's why it's good to have either twins or have clones or have two that have the exact same stats. Now I know these two have the exact same stats. Their health, their stamina, their oxygen, all this is the same between these two because they're clones. So I don't have to worry about any stat changes. So if there is a stat change, I know immediately that's the mutation. This doesn't change any of the coding. All it does is increase the chance of them having a mutation from like 0.12 to 100%. Disable mating. Okay. So now we're going to come over here to the best eggs thing because, well, actually it's over there. So we're going to put it in there so it can incubate 100% really quick. I'll show you another function of these. Let's put one of these away. Remember, whenever you're doing mutations, you may want to take off the saddle, because some of the mutations delete the saddle, some do not. So this one's ready for another pulse, an energy pulse. So we're going to change the mode. This can assign genders. This is to creatures like rock golems, carcanoses. It can even do the enforcers. Creatures that normally don't have genders, this can give them a gender so they can breed. This one allows breeding pulse. This one basically creatures that do not normally able to breed, which I'm going to show you with these two carcanoses, they normally can't breed. But if we use this pulse on them, they'll be able to breed. We'll show you that in a second. Create age freezing pulse. This one is obsolete with cryopods. This is important if you have babies and you don't have the stuff to imprint to them. That's why that was put into this mutation pulse. It's actually obsolete now with cryopods. So if I had a baby that wanted prime fish meat as the imprint and I didn't have prime fish meat, I could just pop this pulse and it would stay that age forever. Now the problem with that is it will cause a lot of bugs nowadays, and this pulse right here is actually obsolete with the cryopods. You just cryopod it and it's perfectly fine. So this one will actually change it into an X variant, so we'll go ahead and do this. Actually, this one was the corrupted version. I'm sorry, I didn't read that correctly. So that pulse actually changed this one into a corrupted Rex. It is still, you see the name is green, so it is still my creature. This is the only way you can have corrupted creatures unless you force tame them. I don't particularly like them. That one's cooling down, so we'll just move on to the next one. And we'll change the mode. Gender swap, assignment, breeding, freeze, corruption, aberrant. Oh yeah, this isn't going to do anything because the T-Rex doesn't have an aberrant version. So let's get a creature in that does have an aberrant version. But first let's hatch up this egg, compare it to one of the others. So crafting, grow up potion. And let's see. So toss this egg out. Hello, little baby. And now let's get you all grown up. There you go. Eat that. And now we need one of your mothers. Okay. So it should have the exact same stats as that, but as you can see, this is a level 227. This is a level 225. For every mutation you have, you get 2 points. 2 points in your levels. So let's find out what the mutation is. Actually, we could have done that a lot easier. So the way we're going to do that a lot easier is we're just gonna, do I have anything in here? I do. Do I have anything in here? I do, but I'll just put it all in there. So let's just put everything in here. Drop those. Put all this in here. Okay, so now we will. That what I just used is the Dino Storage mod, and so here we can see all their stats, so we can immediately find the mutation very quickly. So we're looking for any differences in numbers. So this one is the 227, so this is the one that has the mutation that we forced with the SS Mutator. So health is 9021.8, so the health over here is the same. Stamina is 1428, stamina over here is 1428, oxygen is 645, oxygen over here is 645, food is 14697. Okay, so the mutation 14700, alright. 850 is the weight. So the mutation is actually on weight. So I'll toss these two out so you can actually see that. Okay, so here's the one that has the mutation that we forced with the mutator. And you can see the weight here is 870. And the weight here is 850. So it went up by 20 points. That's not a lot, but when you get 20 stacks of mutations on the mother and 20 stacks of mutations on the father, and you get it in good stats like health or stamina or melee, then you're really good. One stat you never want is movement speed, because if your mutation is on movement speed, it doesn't matter. You still only get 100%. And so this mutation would not be good for me. So if I was breeding for mutations, I would actually kill this baby off because it's no good for me. That mutation on the weight, not what I want. So I would actually kill that baby off, because, I mean, you don't really need a mutation on weight on a Rex. If you was breeding a gathering dinosaur like an Anguille, a Doedicurus, a Therizinosaurus, Carcanos, Gasbag, even a Quetzal, weight would be good on a Quetzal. Then yeah, a weight mutation might be great. Most times, let's fly up and see if we can see a color variation. Most times when you get a mutation, you're also going to get a color mutation. Now the color mutation can land on one of the color slots that's not being used. So let's cryopod this one. Cryopod this one. So here we can see the colors. About halfway down this list of things you can see colors, and it lists the numbers of the colors. Okay, now that one that's in the middle that says neutral, that's probably where the color, no, there's the color mutation right there. So on this one, this is the mother, and you see that it says colors. The slot 0 has colors 36, 13, neutral, that means that one's not being used, 35, 27, and 35. That 27 is not the same over here. See over here, that fourth slot does not say 27, that fourth slot says 65. So that's actually the color mutation right there. So we found the color mutation. So let's now the reason you'd want different variants, I don't know why you'd want that, that's just horrid looking. So let's go ahead and change this one to an X variant, because I know there is an X variant. Change mode, aberrant, create. Okay, so this is going to create an X variant, which is from the Genesis map. Uh-oh. Maybe it's got a buff where it can't take another variant form for so long. Here, put a saddle on, let me see if you have a buff or a debuff. Or just maybe a glitch because it's a corrupted form and you're not supposed to have corrupted forms. So, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and give me this back, please. just gonna go ahead and put her away. Pull out one of the others. Let's pull out this one and turn her into an X variant. Okay, so that one's cooling down, so we can't use that one. So this one we're going to change it to X pulse. Now we're going to change her into an X variant, or X, from the Genesis DLC. Now you have to be careful with the X variants, because if you have an imprint, let me get the baby out. So if you have an imprint, which we don't on this one, but let me put an imprint on it so you can see. Okay, this is a potion that gives 100% imprint. So now it has 100% imprint. Alright? And on Ancestry, you see that it has one random mutation, which we have already identified as the weight mutation. So, if we do a pulse now, she's going to lose that imprint. And you notice this thing's health changed when it got that mutation pulse, because, to show you the difference. If you didn't know, the different variant forms of the dinosaurs, okay, so these two were clones of each of the same one, so all their stats should be the same, but yet here you see 9,021, and over here you see 8,751. The stats are totally different. Plus these X variants, they can get more levels, and I'll show you that by, let's see, I need an XP potion. Okay, I already got one in my inventory. Here. Oops. Here you go, girl. Have this. Let's just eat 2 of them just to be sure that you got all of your experience points. Okay, now you eat 2 of them just to make sure you got all of yours. Now if you tame both of these at the same level, the X variant will get more levels than the regular one. Here it says 88, but you see max XP right here, okay? Here it says 88, but you see max XP is 4 million. So we're actually going to be able to add more levels to this than the other one. We're just going to pump all these into health. Not for any reason other than it's the top one, you know. The different variant forms do different amounts of, you know, one of them does more damage than the other. One of them has more health. Like the X variant has more resistance to attacks. And because their health is so low and I don't want to see them bloody, let's give them a healing potion. And I did that again. Transfer, eat that please. And you eat that. Okay. So like, see this? Well, this one's weight. I mean, this one's melee. We didn't pump anything in that. 505. This one's melee. 505. But the aberrant versions would be different if there was an aberrant version of a Rex. There's not. So this one should technically have more levels because it has a higher XP pool. I don't know if that's a glitch because the Mutator is older than the Genesis map is. It may be. That may be a glitch. I told you we'd probably find one. So we're just going to put these 2 away. But you can see the difference in the variants. So there, that's that one. Go up, please. That's that one function of the Mutator, is you can change the variant. The Spinal has a regular variant, it has an X variant, and it has a Y variant. So, moving on to the next pulse. Create mutation. We was on the X pulse right here. Create mutation. Okay, so we've gone full circle. So we're back on mutation pulse. Gender swap, gender assignment, gender breeding, and we've got to do gender allow breeding, because I said we would do that. So let's put her away, get the 2 Carcanoses out that normally cannot breed. Where are you guys at? Here you are. There's 1. And there's 2. Okay, now if you hold down E, behavior, enable mating, and we're going to do that on both of them, and you're going to see that they normally cannot breed. See, no hearts. They're not breeding. So we're just going to come here. We're going to go to change mode to gender, allow breeding. Okay, so now they have that sign of 2 turtles above their symbol there, that little icon. That means they can now breed. They only have that for like 24 hours or so. Let me get a Carcanos out, and I'll see. Okay. If you didn't know, the easiest way to get on the Carcanos, I mean, you could try to jump and get on one on their body, but the easiest way is just to walk to one of their feet. Okay. Yeah, see, there's a breeding buff for 24 hours in the top right hand corner. So for 24 hours, these 2 things can breed that normally couldn't breed. And they will lay an actual live baby. Come on, show me the stats. Mating and 12.12%. So there is a glitch with this that it causes them to lay live babies, which means if you're going to be using something like best eggs on wyverns, it doesn't work. And so I have some wyverns down here so you could see. The wyverns are breedable right now. Yes, those are all Valentine's Day fish. I spawned in a bunch of them testing to see what was the easiest way to catch them. Let's catch that one. It's right there by it. Grab it. So that fish is mine. If you didn't know, you can actually tame fish, even piranhas. And so, like this fish right here, it's mine now. And say if I had a little water next to my base, I could release that fish. It is now mine. See how its name is green? I could increase its stats. No, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It doesn't have an XP bar. You can increase its stats. So whatever level you get is whatever level you got. This is the only way to tame fish. Well, these guys and piranhas. And saber-tooth salmon also. But it's kind of funny if you go through the trouble to make these things and you get like 100 piranhas following you. It could be kind of scary to other players. So if you didn't know that, now you know that. I was doing the testing for the Valentine's Day event. Like I said, this is my test world. So these guys normally can't breed. Well, they can now. Okay, they can breed now. They normally couldn't breed until the last update. But I'm using classic flyers on this map, and so with classic flyers they still cannot breed. So you have to use the mutator in order to in order to force them to breed. So there's that. How far along are you, doll? Come on, 18%. Oh, the people don't want to wait for that. You gotta hurry up. Okay, I guess I can show you some of the other SS things. You see that this guy is messed up, and I'm gonna kill him off before it causes the game to glitch. And the cryopods aren't even recognizing him, so I don't want him to cause this map to glitch, so we're just gonna kill him off. But it is a way to get corrupted nodules. Right there. Although that's not a very good exchange rate, because if you don't change the amount of cost that each pulse is, you just exchange 10 element for 38 corrupted nodules. Not very good. But on a map that doesn't have corrupted creatures and you need corrupted nodules, that may be worth it. Although, with the FSS grinder, you can convert things. People don't realize this. If you have the superstructures grinder, you can convert things. So, say you're playing on the regular map and you don't have fungal wood. Well, if you have rare mushrooms and wood, you can. And if you have these colorings and crystals, you can make green gems. In my opinion, that price is a little expensive, because making dyes can get expensive. Here you can see the congealed gas balls are very expensive. Well, for one reason, there's not silk on this map, which means you would then have to go to Scorched and make silk, which you need angler gel and fiber. So if you are playing on the regular island map, which doesn't have all the resources, you could make anything in any of the engrams as long as you was willing to pay the price of converting it. Even shell fragments and ambergris from Genesis. So, and most people don't know this also, you can turn regular meat into prime meat, both prime fish and regular prime, and you can also use regular meat to turn into spoiled meat, so you don't need a spoiler mod. You do not need a spoiler mod if you have the SS mod and you're at the level of grinder. These are the storage bins for the SS. These are the tech storage bins. You notice that their slots is 1,000. That's not normal. I increased how many they can hold because, well, I don't like having 100. I don't like having to have a whole nother base full of storage just to hold everything. That's why I like my storage mods. That's why I like my stack mods that lets me stack things. Do I have any resources that's really stacked? These are stacked up high. These fridges are the regular fridges. That's the regular industrial pot, but they do have a tech version in the SS mod. But I wasn't planning on doing that this video. But these guys are taking so long. So maybe I shouldn't have chosen Carcanos. They was just the first creature that came to mind that cannot breed. Wonder if it would work on those fish. That means I'd have to put one of those mutators down in the water. The mutators do not need power. They are powered by the element that's inside of them, as long as you have element inside of them. If you're really good with changing the ionine files, you can change what it costs to actually do this. You could turn it into fiber, that it costs fiber to do this. I'm not going to mess with the ionine that much. I don't like messing with the files that much. How far along are you? Uh-oh. She had the baby. Where did it go? Oh no. This happens sometimes when you are breeding creatures that shouldn't breed. The baby will disappear. That's the frustrating part. Little baby Carcanos. Let's turn the awesome spyglass on, and it should show us. Did you come down here? Alright. Let's go into ghost mode and see if it's inside that rock. This is a glitch with it, that sometimes when you're forcing creatures to breed that normally can't breed, the baby will disappear. We're not going to wait for them to breed again. That was just too long. So, come on, walk. There we go. If you are playing around in creative mode and you're in the fly mode and then you type in ghost with tab, so that way you can fly through walls, do not, this is a warning, this is a PSA, a public service announcement, Do not get on a creature. It will let you, but do not do it, because then that creature will have the ghost mode applied to it, and when you try to land, it will go through the world. Do not type in ghost mode while you are on a creature, or when you get off, it will go through the world, and you will lose that creature forever. With the new meshing, restrictions, once it goes through the mesh, it's probably going to be deleted or killed. So, well, I guess I could stop the recording, let these guys breed, and then bring you back when they have a baby. So, that's what I may do. Not make you guys suffer through that again. Alright. I guess I'll bring you back. Okay, folks, it looks like she's about to give birth. And there you go, she gave us an egg, which was then picked up. Oh my. There was a glitch that I didn't realize. When you guys put these in cryopods, and then you toss them back out, if you've applied a buff to them with that mutator, the buff is removed. So you do not see the two turtles over the top of its icon, the Carcanos level 225. Over her you see the Carcanos, and then you see the two turtles right there on the crosshairs. So using the SS mutator and then using cryopods or dino storage will remove the buff. Oh my. We had several eggs. Alright, people. That makes me feel really bad. I thought the baby... Normally it doesn't come out like this. What is happening here is these two mods are not playing nice together. Normally when you use this mutator, it forces them to have babies and not eggs, even wyverns down there. But this mod allows creatures that cannot breed. It does the same thing. And so this mod, which is a lot cheaper resource wise, this one allows creatures to do the same thing, similar things, and show insulation. Okay. Hide insulation. So this one was creating the eggs into these Carcanos egg mothers. This disabled gestation eggs. I should have turned that off, because this one is forcing all creatures to have gestation. When I do the enable breeding pulse, this forces them to have it forces them to breed that cannot breed, but then they don't have eggs, the ones that do. Like Carcanoses would normally have eggs, I guess, because, well, they're insects. But this mod is actually working in conjunction with it and turned them into eggs that it can pick up. So here I thought they were taking forever and that the baby fell through the world, but it didn't. This mod turned the babies into eggs and then grabbed the eggs. So normally this creature you cannot breed, but as you can see, in conjunction with these two mods, they breed perfectly fine. So we have our baby Carcanos right here. We're gonna claim it and make it grow up. It grew up. No way. Did it grow up fully? I gotta see this. We gotta try another. This guy just popped out as an adult. It wasn't adolescent, it wasn't. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, I got twins. How about that? Yeah, they're fully grown. I just bred these like 3 weeks ago, and they didn't do that. Well, the glitches, you gotta love the glitches, people. So there you go, folks, the SS Mutator. Hey, don't follow me. In fact, get in the storage. So the SS Mutator, combine it with the Best Eggs mod, makes it very easy to raise high-level creatures, like these wyverns over here. Whoa. Oh, that was a lag spike right when I was flying. These fire wyverns was creatures I was working on, and you could see the combination of the two mods. I got 20 mutations from the mother, 20 mutations from the father. All their mutations are in things like health, stamina, and melee. Some of these other creatures I have over here, these Ravengers, actually those don't have any mutations. These was the parents. Yeah, these was the parents. That was my fishing bird during the Valentine's Day event. But these guys up here, these was multiple generations of breeding. So 20 mutations. With these two mods combined, you can get really good creatures without having to spend months and months and months breeding. But there you go, folks. The Superstructures Mutator, the combined with the Best Eggs mod, lets you breed creatures with eggs. There is a few glitches, as you saw. I've changed the cost of each one of the pulses to only being one element. It's normally 10 element, which is very expensive if you don't have a good way to make element. So this episode has come to a close. These are going to be special episodes. They're not going to be part of the series. I'm going to be releasing these every now and then. We'll look into some of the other parts of S+. Once we explore S+, we'll look into some of the other mods I have on here, or we'll look at some building tips or something like that. So just comment down below if you have any special episode ideals that you would like to see, and hopefully I can get this one edited and put up today, so that way you guys could enjoy this tomorrow. Until next time, this is Brav 356. Trust in the Lord.